Yesterday's headlines, just modestly higher inflation from tariffs. Steve's going to dig deeper into it, but I just want to have a conversation with you before you wrote something out. You've been crunching some numbers. You can do that in a second. Can I read something to you?
Yeah, you got something. What do you got?
So this is what we were trying to say yesterday, and I think this is good. And then I want to ask you what it would really take. For the Fed, the lack of a more alarming acceleration in price pressures likely removes an obstacle to lowering rates in response to worries about the labor market. And it kind of sums up what I think we saw yesterday. 3.1 was hotter.
Right.
Okay, for core.
2.7 was lower.
2.7 was lower. 3.1 is not 2. What would be what would be the siren number for core? 3.5?
I think it's kind of like there's been two criteria, Joe. How much is coming through, and is it bleeding into other areas? And those have been
you expecting
the keys.
3.5?
It's not out of the question. Guys, let's just skip the first part of this and go right to the first graphic.
Uh-oh. This is good.
We're just
okay.
gonna,
all right.
Because this is sort of
we're talking.
question.
PPI's coming today, isn't it?
PPI's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what I meant.
You look inside the report. These are things, Joe. What we did is we calculated prices changes from January to July. Women's dresses up 10.4%. Tools and hardware 5%. Major appliances 4.8%. You can see toys and games. These are things that normally would be going down or flat or were offsets to it. And that's really a key. Guys, if you move on here, we're doing this live here. Another way to see the change, though, is from the prior declining trend. Mike Conzel from the Roosevelt Institute found some stark reversals. Take a look here. Tools and appliance categories was heading down. That's the trend line, the dotted line there, before the reversal that likely is linked to tariffs. Similar pattern in home furnishings and dozens of other products that are mostly imported. The trend line was down, and you can see the current line is up. Conzo found that 52% of 82 items in the core basket are up more than 3%. That was a sign of persistent inflation in the pandemic. Scott Lincecum from the Cato Institute tells me, quote, the big question is whether we're starting to see it move into the service inflation, and auto repair could be a sign of that. How long margins could hold before they pass on the tariff. At the same time, sort of talking about what Joe's talking about, those who see benign tariff outcomes have been proven correct in several respects. Some prices are falling, perhaps in reaction to other things being more expensive. That's that relative price thing we've been talking about, acting as an offset to the tariffs. And tariffs may not be sufficient in and of themselves to overcome these other offsets. Take a look at yesterday's CPI. Energy was down 1.1, so that's a big offset. Food at home, down 0.1. Core commodities, though, were up. That's where it really was modest. But the surprise was that core services up 0.4. So the stock market trades like it's game over in this debate between saying it ain't going to ever happen and those warning, just you wait.
That's a bad sign.
But the latter see overtime to this game in August and the inflation reports. I think that answers your question.
We talked about it earlier. Yeah.
You know?
That the consensus has gone from, it's going to be terrible inflation to now people think that we know that it's not good. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
I'm going to just, this is the perfect world that I wish there was some chance that it was true.
What's that?
You know how Trump always says that we're collecting money from foreign countries, and we all know that it's people that import it here.
I have an answer.
No, but my question is, let's say that there are countries that it's so important that they continue to export to us that they really have eaten the lion's share of the tariffs in their prices. So you actually could say that they're the ones that are losing out and actually paying for the tariff money that we're getting here. At least a part of that could be true. It could be 10%, could be 50%.
By the way, Goldman Sachs says it's 60%.
Think about it.
No, that was also including the wholesalers and the retailers as well.
And corporations.
Let me give you two answers to that question, which is...
But wouldn't it be great?
It would be great.
What a wonderful world it would be.
I'm going to give you two answers to that question. The first one is why I like my job so much. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? Tomorrow is not only PPI, I think it's tomorrow. We're going to get import prices.
Okay.
When did you ever get excited about import prices? I'm excited about it because the import prices will answer that question. If import prices are not falling...
Weren't they down last time?
They've been kind of flat.
Which is crazy.
It shows that they're not absorbing it overseas. If it was...
But the dollar's been weak, too.
You have a currency thing. The other thing is, we have our CFO council, which is really a great group of people. One CFO said to me, I don't think we're that stupid and bad negotiators that our suppliers have 15% extra margin to absorb.
According to
Isn't that interesting?
Not really, because
No?
Elizabeth Warren thinks that every single
Elizabeth Warren
producer
is not making
she
economic
thinks every single
policy and
person's
is not
gouging
guiding my
every
thoughts.
chance they get.
But
so.
if you said, well, you got an you're already making money and you have an extra 15%, I could have negotiated out, and that the world
Depends on the
market
business.
is so uncompetitive that there's an extra 15% hanging around.
What's NVIDIA's margin?
Well, that's the margin, but that's true. That's true, and we'll see. We'll take it from margin. My friend Rob is begging me to not talk anymore, maybe as are some viewers, I'm sure. But that's the two things. We'll watch import prices tomorrow, and margins is the other key.
Steve, thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Someone's eating these costs. By the way, Ford ate the costs. You saw it in the
no
numbers.
immaculate
Right,
taxation.
Ford didn't.
Ford
There's
ate
no
it.
immaculate
But that was called
taxation.
idiosyncratic by Treasury Secretary. Who
29 billion
we
or
need back.
27 billion came from somewhere.
We need
Coming up,
back.
folks,